Hello, ladies. I thought I would pop in here this evening. Well, it's evening by my time. And just wondering, do you get shoulder shrugs, mumbled, I don't know, when you try to get your tween to make a decision? Your tween needs to make daily decisions on their journey to becoming an independent learner, to becoming an adult. This is part of the journey, is making decisions. And today we have one decision-making model you can use to help your tween make decisions easier this year. At the end, I'll let you know a little bit more about the Life Skills Club. That is opening this Friday. Our first club meeting is a week from tomorrow. So excited about that. And you'll see how you can get in as a founding member for only $3. $3 a month. It's crazy. If you can't make the rest of this live, go to lifeskills.club, find out all the information there, and I'll tell you more at the end. All right, so how do we get our tween to make more decisions? Let's find out, and we'll talk about a decision-making model that you can use. So number one, they need to buy into the idea that making decisions is worth the effort. What is in it for them? If there's nothing in it for them, why should they bother? Why should they make the effort? Once they make that decision, they're going to take ownership of that, which is kind of scary. If you take ownership of a decision, you are responsible for the outcome, whether that's good or whether that's bad. The outcome belongs to you. So we need to make it worth their while to invest in making that decision and owning that decision, regardless of the outcome. So we'll talk in a minute about what kind of decisions might be appropriate for starting with. Here's a little caveat. If a decision isn't actually a decision, they will stop making decisions. I didn't realize I was doing this with my daughters until they started asking me, is this really a decision, or do we have to do this? Excuse me. Please learn from my mistakes. Don't do that if it's not actually a decision. If they are just contributing to the final outcome, but they don't have a final say, let them know that they are weighing in, but they don't have the final say. If it is a true decision where they need to own the outcome, whatever that outcome is, let them know that too. So now, what kind of decisions do we want tweens to make? So here's the second part of that. Yes, we want them to buy in. We want them to take ownership. Okay, what kind of decisions should they be taking ownership of? What decisions are appropriate? Now, it depends on your tween. If they're a young tween, we're going to start with super low stakes things. As they progress, as they get better at decision making, the stakes are going to get higher. They're going to accept those consequences more as they see the power of decision making, as they get better at decision making, and as you feel more comfortable to release some of those bigger decisions to them. For example, they're not going to be the only person determining where you go on a family vacation. Not really an appropriate decision for your tween to make, but they might contribute to that decision. They won't necessarily dictate where you live, but they could decide within reason what color to paint their room. So that is an actual decision. And just because they have the final say and it's an actual decision doesn't mean there's not boundaries around that decision. So you might say, yes, you're free to paint your room, whatever color you like within this color palette. They're still making a decision. They still have to live with that decision, and it can still be a true decision. Now, there's a decision-making model, super simple, that you can use Help your tween use it to make some decisions. It's called decide. So super easy to remember. And it's define, explore, consider, identify, and then decide, where you actually make the decision. And then E is for evaluate, what happens after. So let's just go over that quickly. This is something you can like jot it on a sticky note, pop it on your fridge as a reminder when decisions come up. You go, oh, okay. So, for example, if your tween is getting to the age and they're like, oh, mom, the neighbor has these cute little kids and they really want me to babysit. And you think, okay, let's figure this out. Should your tween babysit the neighborhood kids? Well, let's see. So we're going to define the problem. What is the problem? We need to know, should you babysit? Should she not babysit? So the problem is we're having to decide they want you to babysit Tuesday evenings. Normally Tuesday evenings, you like to play soccer. Okay, so now we have a problem. We've defined what that problem is. So we can explore the options. Maybe it doesn't have to be Tuesday night that you babysit. Maybe they gave a range of options because they just need a night out. Okay. Maybe there are other soccer groups that meet on different days. Maybe that's the case. What happens if you don't babysit and you just play soccer? Is there something else you could do to earn money if earning money was a big reason that you wanted to do it? If you just wanted experience with kids, is there another way to get that experience with kids? So we've defined the problem. We're exploring some options. Then we're going to consider the consequences. Now, consequences don't have to be bad. They're just like the outcome. So if your tween accepts the babysitting position, what is the outcome? They won't play soccer. Do they have another outlet where they're connecting with their friends, where they're getting some fitness, this kind of thing? If they don't babysit and they do the soccer, do they have other opportunities to develop skills and responsibilities of taking care of other people? Do they have other opportunities to make money? What are the consequences? What are the outcome? So if we don't babysit, we're not going to earn that money, or we'll have to find a different way. If we don't play soccer, we're not going to get that physical fitness. We're going to have to find a different way to get that. Okay. So far we've defined the problem, explored the options, considered the consequences. Now we're going to identify values. So when we're thinking about these choices, how do they fit within your values? And I don't mean, I mean, it can be a moral thing, but do you value fitness? Do you value money? Do you value empathy, which is what they'll be learning when they're babysitting? Do you value teamwork, which is what they'll be learning if they play soccer? Do you value having your tween accountable to another adult, like having a boss? These are different values. So identify them and see, okay, like where do these two choices fit? And you'll have to help your tween talk through these. They're not just magically going to be able to know, oh, yes, I know how to use this decision-making model, but you can use this as a framework to talk them through. Finally, they come to a decision. They're like, oh, I really do want to make some money, but you know what? My friends are all playing soccer. I want to hang out with my friends. And that is a value that I'm prioritizing. Okay. So then they play soccer for the season. Turns out that when you go out and they want to spend money at the dollar store, they don't have money for that because they haven't babysat, so they haven't earned the money. Oh, so they're realizing this is what happens. but they are having a good time with their friends. So after the fact, then they're evaluating the results and they're saying, okay, I made this choice, I own this choice, and this is what happened. Now, it's not a life or death choice. It's not a make or break. The stakes are pretty low. Either way would be good. So it's a great thing for your tween to go through that decision-making model, get the outcome, evaluate, and next year, when soccer comes around, they go through the decide model and they go, last year I decided to play soccer, but it really kind of sucked that I didn't have extra spending money. So this year I'm going to decide not to play soccer. I'm going to spend the time babysitting because I want the pocket money. Then they make that decision based on their experience. So the decide model, it's a good model to start with. It's great for lots of general decision-making processes. So it is quite versatile. And once they have that under their belt and they practice that decision-making model, you're going to have to help them, coach them, talk them through it. Over time, it'll just be like, okay, well, let's just walk right through this and it won't be such a big deal because they'll know the steps and they're going to come up with better decisions. So this decide model, this is one of 3 decision-making models that students will learn in the Life Skills Club this year. And right now, until September 8th, stores open this Friday, you can enroll your tween as a founding member of the Life Skills Club for only $3 a month. Stupid, crazy deal. $3 a month. And here's what they get for that. Every week, there is a Life Skills Club meeting in which we talk about a micro skill that contributes to a bigger skill relating to organization, communication, or critical thinking. These are the core fundamental life skills. So we're learning each week, we're learning a tiny skill related to one of those. And so they're stacking these skills week by week. They're coming home, they're practicing what they did in role play and practice during the club meeting. Then they're taking it home, they're trying it at home, and you'll see their improvement week after week after week. Then you, moms, you're going to get support, as in there's a Tween Talk community just for this with a forum. You can ask questions in how you can support your tween as they are learning and practicing these life skills. But you don't have to carry the burden of explicitly teaching the skill. They can be explicitly taught the skill at the Life Skills Club, and then we'll say, hey, here's how you can support them at home with this. And then you come alongside them and they have practiced it already. So they're coming in and then you're practicing that at home. Also, there's a ton of resources. Primarily at this point, I have stuff about reading and writing, which are foundational skills for academics, for life. The better you can read and comprehend, it just helps with everything. Everything. And writing. Writing is a huge indicator of academic success. You're just further ahead in life overall if you have strong reading and writing skills. And I'm saying that because I had a writing program in the past, and I'm bringing all of my resources. I'm continuing to add those resources this week here before the doors open, and we'll continue to add resources, reading and writing challenges, things that you can use to support your tween in those ways, as well as other resources and challenges we'll be bringing in along the way. So all of that is included in this membership. So there's support for you, moms, some extra stuff if you want to get your tween into that. And for the tweens, there's the weekly club meeting And I've put them into groups of 3, like it's a quest. They can complete the quest, they can get the badge for it. So there's a little bit of motivation to put some effort in to get that skill. And of course, you'll benefit at home because they'll become better critical thinkers. They'll be more organized. They're going to start communicating better, and it will just build up and improve over time. Also, 2 more bonus things that you get right now. One of them is discounts on other courses. For example, there's a babysitting course, usually $79. And as a Life Skills Club member, you get 25 bucks off, and you'll get the coupon code when you are a Life Skills member. So things like that coming up. And finally, every month, there is a 7-sentence story workshop. So if your tween is a reluctant writer and you're like, yes, all of these life skills are good, but I can't even get them to do the writing they need to do for their academics. How can I get them to write anything? It is a fight all of the time. Good news, every month, 7-sentence story workshop. They are a blast, super fun to get kids writing, to get them enjoying the process, having fun with words, and then that will transfer over as they see, I can do this. All right. So all of that stuff for the Life Skills Club, $3 a month. Go to lifeskills.club and enroll your tween right now as a founding member.